Canon makes dozens of cameras, but finding the best one for shooting video can be a bit hard to navigate. Not to worry. In this video, we're going to cover the 5 best Canon cameras for video with an option to fit any price range. So let's jump into it. All right, so we're gonna break things down into 5 different pricing categories. We've got our first price range under $1,000. Our pick in this budget is the Canon M50 Mark II. The M50 is an excellent choice for anyone looking to take their photography or filmmaking skills to the next level. It can record 4K video at 24 frames per second or 1080 video at 60 frames per second. It's got one SD card slot and a mini HDMI output. It also has a microphone input so you can connect to an external mic. It's got dual pixel autofocus with eye tracking so you can focus quickly and stay on focus as you're filming. Its color science is also really good, providing images with great colors and sharpness. And additionally, it has in-body image stabilization, which helps reduce camera shake and blur during handheld shots. The camera is also very compact and light, making it easy to transport wherever you go. And finally, it has wireless YouTube live streaming, so you can stream your videos in real time. Now, onto the downsides. When recording in 4K, it does have a 1.5x crop that will limit your field of view and how much you can capture. Also, the autofocus can be a bit poor when you're shooting in 4K, and if you're shooting in 1080, sometimes the footage is known to be a bit soft. Also, the battery life is relatively low, but for $699, which also comes with a kit lens, $599 if you just want the body only, this is a great camera and a great deal for shooting high quality video. All right, now our next price range, our pick for this one is the Canon R8. The R8 is a solid high-end camera for video recording at an affordable price. It is a full frame sensor, meaning that it captures more light, which gets you sharper, higher quality footage. That also has that softer cinematic background. It can record 4K video at up to 60 frames per second or 1080 HD video at 180 frames per second, which is pretty slow. It also has one SD card slot as well as a microphone input and a USB-C port where you can connect it to other devices. It also has a micro HDMI port and a headphone jack so you can connect to an external display and you can monitor your audio that you are recording. Another thing that makes this great for video are its video specific features like focus assist, Canon Log 3, and in-body image stabilization for smooth and stable video recording. Now, some negatives about this camera: the R8 lacks the top LCD screen, a magic touch bar, and other features that made the original so popular. The SD card slot is also kind of awkwardly placed and can be a bit difficult to access. Another negative is that it doesn't offer uncropped 4K video at 60 frames per second, so it can only do 4K video at 30 frames per second, uncropped, which may not be ideal for certain types of videos if you want to record that 60 frames per second and have the most field of view. Also, the autofocus system isn't as advanced as some of the other cameras on the market, so you may have difficulty getting accurate focus in low light or fast moving scenes. And lastly, the battery life, as reported, is not as great compared to other full frame cameras, so you'll need to make sure you have extra batteries on hand if you plan on shooting for long periods of time. But overall, I think those are pretty minor for the R8, especially given that it is a full frame camera at such a great price point. It is only $1,500. Body only. All right, let's move forward to our next budget range, $2,000 to $3,000. This one, we've got the Canon R6 Mark II. The R6 is an absolute powerhouse of photography and videography. It's got a full frame sensor that can capture 4K video at 60 frames per second and 1080 HD video at 180 frames per second in 10-bit color, which means you have more control in post-production to adjust your exposure and adjust your colors. Also, you can record oversampled 6K 10-bit video at 60 frames per second via the micro HDMI output to an external recording device like an Atomos. This one also has in-body 5-axis image stabilization, so you get that smoother, shake-free footage without having to deal with the crop. For storage, it has 2 SD card slots, and it also has, as we've talked about, microphone input and headphone output. Compared to the original R6, overheating is not as much of an issue when recording in high quality or for long periods of time under normal conditions. It also has a sharp electronic viewfinder and a swing-out touchscreen LCD to help film at any angle or record yourself. On the downside, the micro HDMI port is the smallest of the HDMI ports, and so it can be a bit small and finicky, so you have to be careful, especially if you're using an external recorder like an Atomos to record your footage and you're just relying on that small HDMI port. Also, you can't use the R6 when getting power over USB, which means that you have to get a battery to an AC adapter if you want to use this for recording long takes or interviews, or if you want to do time-lapse photography. But with all that said, still a solid camera. The R6 Mark II comes in at just under $2,500 for the body only. All right, now let's jump up a bit in our budget to our $3,000 to $5,000 range. In this one, we've got the R5C, which is the cinema version of the R5 camera. The cinema model brings over features from Canon cinema line, like 12-bit RAW 8K internal recording at 60 frames per second, which is huge. It can also do 10-bit 4K videos at 120 frames per second. Now, the cinema camera has improved internal cooling for recording long takes or when you're cranking it up all the way to 8K recording on full blast, so overheating is not an issue. And being in line with being more of a cinema video camera, it has 13 programmable buttons, which are great for quickly accessing settings that you use all the time and to quickly change things. It's got one CF Express slot and one SD card slot, and you record 2 different formats simultaneously, like recording your high-res 8K RAW files on one card and then recording proxies for faster editing on the second card. It has a timecode input to sync multiple cameras or to sync it to an external audio recorder, which is also something you would see in professional level cinema cameras. Connection-wise, pretty similar to the other cameras that we talked about. It's got micro HDMI, 3.5mm microphone input, and a headphone output, but you can attach a Tascam accessory to the hot shoe on top of the camera to add professional XLR audio inputs. Now, on the flip side, while the R5 has solid autofocus, it does not have in-body image stabilization. It uses digital stabilization, which does reduce camera shake, but the trade-off is that you have a 1.1x crop, which is not that much, but you're still not getting the full sensor that it is capable of if you have image stabilization turned on. Some users have also complained about the quick battery drain when you're in cinema mode, and also that it has micro HDMI, which is not the best connection. It would be preferable if it had something like full HDMI or an SDI connection. This is also a hybrid camera with excellent still photography features. It can shoot 45 megapixel photos, and it also has a really quick settings change button on the back where you can go from cinema mode to photo mode with just flipping a switch. Now, this camera is not inexpensive. It is $4,400 just for the body, but it is a great hybrid camera that has excellent photo features, excellent video features, and tons of pro level video features that you would find in more expensive cameras. So for all that, super solid camera at a decent price point for all of the pro level features that it has. And lastly, our $5,000 plus budget range. Canon makes a few cinema cameras, the C300, the C500, but bang for buck, our pick would be the C70 cinema camera. It has a Super 35 CMOS sensor that can shoot 10-bit 4K video up to 120 frames per second. However, if you update to the latest firmware, you can record in 12-bit Cinema Raw Lite, which will do 4K 12-bit video at up to 60 frames per second. It has in-body image stabilization, and paired with their RF mount technology, it works in unison with the stabilization in the lenses for even steadier footage without sacrificing any of the image to cropping. The Super 35 sensor, which is bigger than a full frame sensor, will get you superior performance in low light conditions. You also get a lot of pro level video features like built-in ND filters, 2 mini XLR ports, a full HDMI port, and lots of buttons for quick control of settings like focus peaking, white balance, zebra highlights, a bunch of other stuff. Now, some of the downsides: does not do 8K recording like we just covered in the less expensive R5C, and the mounting points are a bit unconventional, but those are relatively minor, and 8K video is a bit extreme, especially if you're depending on where you're going, what do you want to do with that? But those are relatively minor, especially given its price. It is only $5,500, which is a great price for a small yet powerful cinema camera, which is also why I thought it was a better value than Canon's more expensive cinema cameras. Also, you probably don't really need to be recording in 8K, there's not much use for that. And that's it, the best 5 Canon cameras for video for every budget. But let me know, what did you think? Did you agree? Did you disagree? Let me know down in the comments below. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. And for more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, for more camera roundups, check out our playlist of other cameras from other manufacturers, and also our roundup of best vlogging cameras, best mirrorless cameras. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.